This week's episode of Bleach The Thousand Year Blood War Part 3, Episode 8, was very creepy to say the least. Between Captain Mayuri's mad science, as well as finally seeing what Pernida has been hiding under that hood of his this entire time, this episode was great from start to finish. It also lays the groundwork for Nemu's involvement in the battle against Pernida, as well as Hashwalth vs Baz B. So let's dive into Episode 8 of Bleach The Thousand Year Blood War Part 3, Baby Hold Your Hand. We begin the episode following the climax of the epic battle between Renji and Uryu from last week. Meanwhile, we also see Lil Barrow put his rifle away as he watches the Soul Reapers in Shunsu's group run away. The episode then cuts to Kenpachi and Mayuri's group. There's a little bit of banter between them before they come face to face with Pernida, member of the Shoe Stuffle. Kenpachi immediately asks what the hell is standing in front of him, then goes to attack, cutting Pernida's head open but losing an arm in the process. Pernida begins to shoot his nerves into the walls around himself. As this is happening, Yumichika, Ikkaku and Nemu comment on what they had just seen, with Ikkaku commenting on the rarity of Nemu actually voicing her own opinion for once and saying what she feels, as opposed to being given permission by Captain Mayuri. Now it's time for Kenpachi vs Pernida round 2, which ends with Kenpachi losing full control over his body as Pernida's nerves take over. That is until he's stabbed through his chest by Captain Mayuri, who uses an anesthetic on him to stop Pernida from killing him. Mayuri's Asuga Jizu makes a horrifying scream as his anesthetic paralyzes Kenpachi. Mayuri explains to Pernida that thanks to using Kenpachi's bait, he's now figured out the means behind his mysterious power. Angry at this, Pernida fires his nerves towards Mayuri, which of course doesn't work since Mayuri has a counter to everything, which in this case is a jar of acid, melting Pernida's nerves. The screams that Pernida makes here are quite disturbing. After hearing Mayuri's explanation that he has now figured out how Pernida's power works, we finally get to see what was hiding under his hood, as he takes the form of a giant towering left arm, the left arm of the Soul King. Mayuri confirms this as the spiritual pressure between Pernida and Mimihagi is the same, meaning they are both parts of the Soul King. We get some more dialogue between Mayuri and Pernida, as Pernida tells Mayuri his name, to which Mayuri responds by telling him that since he was the one who discovered him, much like a scientist would discover a new species of animal, that he has the right to name him. The mad scientist revels in fighting an enemy that he has no prior experience or knowledge of fighting. The fight between these two begins with Pernida using his nerves he shot into the surrounding environment to create hands to crush Mayuri, who uses his arm as a grappling hook trying to evade. The hands that Pernida created here seem to be too fast for the mad scientist to escape, as he's seemingly crushed between them. On the other side of the coin, Baz B, Little Lampard and Giselle are chilling on a rooftop, where Baz B states he's going to kill Hashwalth and settle his personal score with him, while Letoto and Giselle go after Yuhavak. Bringing us back to Mayuri's battle with Pernida, Mayuri of course survives being crushed, thanks to repurposing Quincy technology, a Hirengyaku, the same kind that Uryu and his grandfather Soken use. Mayuri then shoots an explosive device at one of Pernida's fingers, blowing it off to use as a sample for his experiments. However, what Mayuri doesn't know is that any fingers that are ripped off become another left arm. Surrounded by multiple left arms, Mayuri has no choice but to use his altered Bankai, which takes the form of a pregnant baby, giving birth to a smaller baby, which has its nerves on the outside. This is very important as Pernida's power relies on his nerves. Mayuri explains that the nerves on the surface of the baby's skin are 70,000 layers deep, meaning Pernida must use his powers 70,000 times. His powers are no match for the baby, who swallows Pernida whole. This is definitely the most disturbing Bankai in Bleach in my opinion, and I don't know what sort of scuba was on when he made this, but I need to get me some of that. Mayuri laughs like an insane person as the episode comes to a close. Now, before we end the video, I do want to touch on a couple of things. So the first one is very obviously the CGI, which I'm seeing some people already hate on. Now, I personally didn't really mind the way the CGI looks in this episode, with Pernida's giant hands, but let's not kid ourselves here, it does look a bit out of place with the rest of the animation. Second, the ending song is now being played in reverse order, and I'm not sure what the underlying meaning is behind this. If you know, then please leave it in the comments. It's called the New World Ending, which I'm assuming is because of Yuhavak creating Wild. Overall, episode 34 was another banger episode. We got to see Mayuri's very odd Bankai and his battle with Pernida. Let me know what you think of the episode below, and this week's poem is by Shunsui, meaning that we will probably be getting his battle versus Lil Barrow next week. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next week with episode 35. Don't chase a shadow.